Good afternoon. I think it is afternoon. No, it is still morning, and we are still here on the Duex branche site, the most talked about site for the past 2 days. We saw a meeting with the Ministry of Environment. We heard from the parliamentary representative for the Kalinago constituency. We heard from the Carib chief. We heard from forestry officials. And now we are here with a few folks who, came to also express themselves. So we are going to have an interview with them. We'll ask them why they chose to come here this morning again. We also have our icon. He is still here. Nasio Fountain is still here on site. We are joined by Afi Martin. We are joined by a lot of prominent people here this morning. And before we begin, we are going to speak with this man. We'll ask him his name. Come here, sir. Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning to everybody.
Tell us your name.
I'm Wilford Davis from Marigot.
Okay, this is Wilford Davis from Marigot. Mr. Davis, tell us why you are here this morning.
Well, yeah, the reason why I'm here this morning, I used to be working in this area where they're doing the excavating project there, and I started working here in 1986, and I had to leave in 2003. But from every year I've been working here from 1986, I used to be harassed by forest guard. Year after year, day after day, they would say I was destroying the forest, the environment was destroying. And now I'm here today, and what I see going on there, I want to know what the Chinese are doing there right now if it's not destroying our environment.
So, Mr. Davis, you said you used to farm in that area. What type of farming you used to do?
I used to do a lot of bananas, dashing. I cultivated the area where I was working with oranges, grapefruit, coconut, cocoa.
And you are saying that back in the 1980s, you were harassed by the forestry official, alleged, stating that you used to destroy the environment. So what happened after that?
Well, after that time, I had to leave here because I asked them to sell the area for me, and they tell me they will not sell the area because there is the forest, is a piece of forest reserve land, so they weren't able to sell there. So then I had to leave in 2003.
And now you are seeing excavation work, you are seeing quarrying going on there. How does that make you feel?
Well, I feel in a kind of a way, not because I am not working here presently, but because of what they used to say to me that I destroy the environment, it making me feel a way to see how the Chinese doing it right now.
Okay, so according to Mr. Davis, he used to be working here in 1986, according to him, and the forestry official allegedly told him that he is destroying the environment and he had to leave. That's in 1986, guys. We're also here with the, I think, owner of this property. Good day, sir.
The owner, yeah.
You're not the owner?
One of the owner. Family.
One of the owners.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yes.
So tell us why you are here.
Well, I here for many reasons. One of the main things is about the environment. Not only about my land, as our land, but I concern more about the environment. That is disrespect. Real disrespect happening there. You know? It's like we are matting door in front doors. You understand? A project like that taking place on our land for a while. The only people that come to us, I believe, to my knowledge, is the developer. Forestry, government, I don't believe you have any paper from any one of them. Not Severa, none of them saying that. You know, it's only arrangement with them, and I believe they take us for granted. You understand? Right now, when I come and I see what's going on the land, I want to know how much you're going to pay us for the damage. Because it have a damage.
So do you have paperwork for this property?
We have title. Yeah, we have title.
All right. Have you been compensated for your property?
In their own way, not in my way.
So you are stating that you got compensated already?
Yeah, kind of a way, yeah.
Okay, but you are not satisfied?
Indeed, I'm not satisfied.
Okay, but why did you even sign off to something that you were not satisfied before you pressured?
Well, I will say, not pressured in a sense, but it's not only I alone making decision. When I go to other, find out from people I know that can really tell us how to go about it. First thing I believe the developer tell us is a rational thing, fast. They want it in weeks. They want everything to happen now. And it's just like, it's just like something just come boom, explode. And that's how they had it going on. And then I say, well, I get a draft letter stating how much they should pay us. They just pack aside and they come and pay us what they believe they want to pay us. And that is disrespect. I'm not understanding for them kind of thing there, For real, I'm not standing. And what they say they do there with our land, I don't, I mean land there, but really, what is happening in Dominica, not only here, but the disrespect happening in Dominica, is more than that. I just, it making me angry, so.
So you were in a situation where you sign off your land, and once you sign on the contract, that's a done deal. Now, what advice would you like to give to persons who might be facing that same situation? What advice would you like to give them?
Well, I'll address, you say, signing and the done deal. Sometimes we have to go back to the drawing board. Sometimes we have to make decisions. I mean, rational. People are doing rational. And if it's injustice, I believe we have to fix it. That is my take, and that is what I intend to do.
And what about advice? Yes.
Well, my advice for we Dominicans, especially parents who neglecting the children, parents who don't focus on what they're supposed to focus, material things. But what I'm seeing here right now, the foundation, the ground that we're walking on, is moving under us gradually. And I believe right now, it's coming to where we have to stand up. But for us to stand up, we, the elders, have to do it. We have to do it for the children to can stand, for them to respect us. We cannot allow children to lead. We have to lead. And I intend to lead because I have children. And I have family. And I intend to lead. I don't care nothing about them type of thing. So what I will tell we and Dominicans is to rise up against the injustice that happening to us in our country. Rise up to the highest and take back our country now. Everything is supposed to happen right away because the time come.
So there you have it. One of the landowners in the area, he was compensated, but he is not satisfied. We also have Miranda. How are you?
I'm good.
Why are you here, Miranda?
Oh, I am here for many, many reasons. Many reasons. One, Dominica, Waitukubuli belongs to our Kalinago ancestors. And it hurts when I see those kind of destruction happening right here at Duex. Because our ancestors, if I have to go back to history, our ancestors fight to protect Waitukubuli and our children. That's why we are here today. Yes. And we cannot, as a member of the Kalinago Council, as a leader of Kalinago Cultural Group, as a concerned person, I'm Dominican, as an artist, I think it is fair and dishonest and disrespectful that this mining and this quarry, whatever is happening. I remember, I was just probably 19 years, whatever. I remember when the Australian company, when they came to Dominica, way back in the 80s, and they wanted to mine that same area, the Duex area. And I remember Chief Hillary and Irvin's August, and then they had a meeting with us in the Old Kalinago Council in Salibia, and they called all the residents, and then we said no. And the chief and Hillary, they said they don't want no mining. Because why? Because when you mine it on top of the mountain, you have all the vents, you have all the rivers, you have all the little ravines and sus. Now when you mine and thing, in the next couple of years we will not have no water. And water is life. Water is life. Water is life. If we do not have water, what are we going to do? We'll die like a fish. We'll die like fishes. So I am angry and thing. And then what had hurt me with our pal rep, our Mr. Frederick, our Minister of Environment, we got the information from the people of Concord they had a problem. So we went, chief and council, we went and we sat down with them, madam, and they said, here it is, that they're having a problem with the quarry, whatever, thing, and then the water is getting dirty. And what they told us that it is, they're getting some skin rashes, which I think that was very strange. That was very So the chief and council, we wrote to Minister of Environment or Palrep, and he never responded. We called to the what authority, and they never responded. So this is the thing. I mean, we have to stop it. We have to stop those mining and whatever. If we don't stop the debris, now they will go and they will go at on the other side of the river. They will go to all Mont Diablo. They will, we have to protect our country. Kalinago people, we are calling on all you. Let us rally in a nice peaceful way and let us stop it. We need to stop it, protect it. Dominica is the nature isle of the Caribbean. Dominica is beautiful, is lovely, whatever. And most of the truth is, I worked at Hibiscus, and sometimes when the visitors come, they have river tubing and lodge. Sometimes when the people come to go down to the river and the water is dirty, they have to cancel the tour. They have to cancel the tours. And the people who work there, they have been affected. We have been affected. It's affecting the tourists and whatever. So I call on the government, I calling on the authority to stop it. Stop it.
Thank you so much. Yes, as you know, Emonews is the voice of the people. We are giving everybody an opportunity to voice their concerns. And we are also being joined by Miss Annie Edwards. Annie Edwards is a former chief physical planner, and she's going to talk to us. Annie, you attended the meeting with the officials. What do you make of the meeting?
Well, all I can say, thank you, Emo, for coming here and listening to the people and bringing our views worldwide. All I can say is I was very disheartened because it's a lot of lies that were told this morning. A lot of, I found that government officials like the forestry officer, the chief forestry officers, they were not speaking as foresters. They were speaking as, political appointees. These people are here to serve the people, as foresters. They have, as was said earlier, all my life working in the government service, the forestry officers were very serious persons. They guarded that forest, and nobody could enter in that forest and do what they want. That's what I know about forestry officers. Now I'm seeing forestry officers sucking up to the government and supporting this nonsense. And all I can say this morning, I felt even more disheartened when I went on the site. Because this time I had a close-up view of the site. And all I'm seeing is destruction. Is land degradation and destruction. Because I'm looking for the stones and all I'm seeing is just red dirt, the typical soil that is in the area, red clay. And where is the rock? So that means they have to remove all that silt you are seeing there, And I understand that this thing is going to extend way down further into Concord. Where is that soil going to be disposed of or stored or whatever? And I also understand that the rock is deep underground. I don't know how many meters, but so in addition to removing the top soil, they also have to go underground to get the rock.
Before you continue, we saw that they expounded on the mitigation measures that they have taken. What can you say about the mitigation measures?
Well, first I have to say that, these people are operating back to front. Firstly, how can you be talking about mitigation measures when you don't even have approval to operate on that site? The representative of the company, Josiah Benoit, Jaizana, said that initially he went on the site with a team of persons from all the different agencies. So I guess planning, environmental health, forestry, etc. And they looked at the site and they told them that they need to give a decision so they can start. What is that? The people went to the site to just do a first visit, reconnaissance survey, they call it. Then they had to go back to their offices, discuss it while the developer prepared the EIA. It is only when the developer prepares the EIA and submit it, they, review it, they circulate it among themselves, consult whoever else needs to be consulted, then they can make a decision. So I just didn't understand. Now they are talking about mitigation measures. I'm noticing, obviously that area has a lot of streams. So they have a few pipes, directly in the water. But that is nothing. That's the easiest part of this. The most important part is the amount of soil that has to be removed from that mountain. Where is that soil going to be stored? And yeah, I brought a map which I'll show to you, showing you the entire watershed. The northern forest reserve, for those who do not know, is really the forested area. The government legalized forested area that protects Mont Dablote mountain range. Mont Dablote is the heart of Dominica. It's this massive mountain range which stretches from this area all the way up to the north of the island. So you have a number of rivers protected by this northern forest reserve. You start with Pegua, where we are. Melvin Hall is there. You go up all the way, Blenheim, go across to Portsmouth, Indian River, all down the side to Makushri. All and most importantly, Layu River. Layu is the largest, the longest river, a massive watershed. And just imagine you're going to mess with the with the Northern Forest Reserve. I mean, this is crazy. And this thing is legalized. It is protected. You cannot just go into our protected areas. It started at Cabarets. We sat down, we did nothing. Now it's moving. Where else will it go? It already went into the Mount Wapito National Park. We are losing everything that we cherish dearly, which our forefathers protected for us. And it's time we stand up and say no to that disaster that's taking place. That disaster, it should not take place in Dominica.
Annie, a lot of people think that you are against progress. You are against progress. You are against international airport. You are against this. You are against that. What can you say?
All I can say is that I'm not against progress. I am in favor of doing things right. There are laws. This country has laws. How can you think of starting a major project like an international airport without any plan, without any studies? I mean, everyone here at some point had to interact with the planning department. You want to build your house, you have to apply. And it's only for major developments like this, you must do environmental impact studies. You must do studies of the environment. Right now, we are seeing the disaster that's been created in Wesley. Right now, the fishermen can no longer fish, in Wesley. The entire coastline is dead. Yeah, the entire area in front of the airport. If it's not dead, it's so polluted that they cannot even see to fish, so they have moved away. We are talking also about the impact on the people. This constant noise they have to be subjected to the movement of the truck, the dust. They are mixing cement with soil, so imagine that's toxic. So it's a lot of things. And what I also have to remind people is that I worked at the planning department for 30 years. So I know what I'm talking about. We are the people who harass Dominicans to do things properly. And the government is not above the law. The law says that. The law binds the states. So when they cannot come and say anything about it, they have a right.
Thank you so much, Miss Edwards. As you know, Emonews, the views expressed here are not those of Emonews. We are calling Mr. Dura, he's a former senior forestry officer. Mr. Dura, what can you tell us about this project and how do you feel about it?
Honestly, I don't want to be too emotional.
Can you take out the shade so we can see your emotionality?
I don't want to be too emotional, but really and truly, as somebody who was involved, in the sustainable management of our environment, it really hurts. It hurts my eyes, my heart, my soul, my entirety to see this disaster that we are creating, human beings are creating. I do not think that any past natural disaster has created any such impact on our environment. We've had several areas that have been impacted by natural disasters. I can recall there was Gurup in 1985. Erica created some damage. to a number of areas, including PD7, and PD7 was declared a disaster and the residents were moved. But honestly, no one area in PD7 had this kind of impact from Erica. Not one of the areas, and they were moved. The area was declared as a disastrous area. And we all know that because that happened just recently, about 9 years ago. Right? And Mr. Edwards spoke about a number of things that I'm concerned about. The way they approach to doing this project. When I was in forestry, what I knew was that any such project would have to be communicated formally to the division. The director and senior staff would have to sit, and review the project document and advise government accordingly. You understand me? They would advise because they would have to prevent the advice that they give would have to prevent government from compromising its position. The department has to take care of its position as well. The people and the country by extension. And so here it is. It appears that things are just happening. I heard a man say irrationally. That's what is happening, they're not following the procedures and protocols. There are set procedures and protocols that we have to follow when it comes to such development projects. And apparently it appears that this is lacking. And we all know that the forestry department currently lacks, this sort of strength with the forestry maybe 20, 25 years ago or more. You had more senior people in there who, cared about our environment, about our forests, and how it is the benefit of it to our people, our country. Look at what we're doing. We're building an airport that is going to bring in visitors from far and wide to experience our nature. But look at what we're doing right here, right on the road, the main road, we are destroying it. Visitors are already questioning what is happening here. Visitors who are coming in to visit, to go on hiking and experience our nature, they're already questioning what is going on there. This is right in the face. So what it is we're really doing, what it is we want to do. And there are other options. It is being said that it is better that these individuals took material from Crapo Hall, take it to another site where you establish the crusher, maybe closer to Melvin Hall, or on the site itself, the airport site, and take the material from there and Ansley May. All of this, could have worked better, but I'm not sure what it is they want to be doing here. And you look at, and also my concern is the extent of material that is going to come out from here and the depth that they have to go down in excess of 2,000 feet to meet the bedrock, the material that they require to do this work. I mean, it really doesn't make sense, and I'm sorry, it hurts all the senior persons who have gone, all the older forest officers and those who went recently, or forefathers, it's hurting to see what we're doing. I think we really do not understand our country. Our country is blessed with a topography and a terrain that is safeguarding us and makes us unique among everybody else in the region, in the Caribbean region, And we're supposed to be protecting it. That's why this area was established as part of the protected areas. There are 2 forest reserves in Dominica. Among the protected forests, you have forest reserve, only 2 forest reserve, the Central Forest Reserve, the Northern Forest Reserve. And here's what we're doing to an area that was established since 1975 by law. You understand? And then you have national parks. You have 3 national parks, Cabritz, Mont Diablotin, and Mont Trois-Pitons. We're supposed to have 2 marine reserves. One, I understood, has been degraded. It's gone. The only one left is the Soufrière-Scorzed Marine Reserve. So what it is we're doing? We just bent on destroying everything. Look at what is happening in Cabritz. 2 coastal swamp lands on Dominica. they took carburetes just to amend the law to allow that. Whereas the laws was allowing for development, but the land would have, I guess, maybe given up in lease or whatever. But they changed the law to allow for that development. Now they put in a marina. They put a hotel and now they're doing a marina on a bedrock. They put in a marina on a bedrock. And Mr. Edward spoke about the impact, obviously, on our biodiversity. There are plants inside there. There's a palm in that forest that is away from coastal area. Most of the other areas you find it is coastal. Sansouver, Rosalie, in these areas. And it's here, there's a little bit in this forest. There are a few trees. There's some in the bends, heights of bends, and so many forests across Syndicate, right? The only other population is in the cafe area. That's when you're going up the Lago River in the cafe area. And this is a palm that you can eat. The seeds, the fruits are edible. It's one of a few palms that a native palm that we can eat the fruits. So, the nature is providing for us. They're going to destroy most of the population on that. That is an area for the parrots, both species of parrots. The study was completed there not too long ago, and we found out that is in terms of the density for population for the imperial. This is one of the better areas, and I don't know if you've heard that since Maria, the imperial parrot was declared critically endangered. That's an endangered group. There's supposed to be work in terms of keeping this forest as is, and ensuring that it stays as is so that we can keep the population of the parrots. Because people come from far and wide, birders in particular come from far and wide. When they come to Dominica, they stay in a hotel, they eat, they pay a bus driver, or taxi driver, top operator, they're making money just to come and see the parrots. And then we're destroying the habitat of these birds.
And you are hearing from a former senior forestry officer, Mr. Dura. Thank you so much for speaking with Emonews. We are also joined with Gary. Remember, the views expressed here are not those of Emonews. We are here with Gary. Gary, you attended the meeting with the government officials. What can you make of the meeting?
Thank you, Imo. Yeah. Thank you, Imo, and hello, Dominica and everybody. My name is Gary Ogis. I'm a conservation biologist. I'm from Dominica, from Congo, from this area. I live just a 10-minute drive down the road. And today, what we're seeing here, I feel like it was more performative. We didn't get all the answers that we wanted. There's still a lot of things that we have been requesting from the officials, from the developers. We need to see the approved documents for this product. And as we heard here today, the engineer and the officials said that the project has not started yet, but we're clearly seeing a lot of damage in the Daywatch area. And you can't tell me that the project has not started yet due to the amount of damage. And I'm here speaking on behalf of my people from my community as well, those who are afraid to speak up, because we have talked to members from the community and people have expressed their concerns and are worried about the damages to come, but a lot of them are afraid to come out. And so they've actually said thank you, and they're proud at what we're doing online and what we're generating. And we love to see people like Nancy Fountain, who came out yesterday to do a physical demonstration of this. And we're hoping that more people come on board and more people be courageous in this event, because this is Dominica, this is our land, this is our people, and we have a right to protect it.
Thank you so much. We also have Janelle Brisbane. Janelle, 1 second. I know you asked a lot of questions this morning. Some maybe, I'm not sure if you got the answers that you wanted. Can you touch on that?
You forgot to say that the views expressed and not that of.
The views expressed here are not those of Emonews.
Well, again, part of the reason why Gary and I are here is because of our technical expertise in the matter. But not just because of our technical expertise, but because of our lived experience in the area. Like Gary said, he is part of the community that's been affected. I have family and friends who are also part of this community being affected. A lot of us here grew up along this river as well. This is like a point, like I would say, like the heart, or at least one of the major arteries of Dominica, where people from all over gather. So a lot of people have lived memories from this area. But yeah, we did ask a lot of questions today because some interesting things were pointed out, like Mr. Benoit did emphasize that they did not yet have permission for the site. And so we asked questions pertaining to how they are able to operate at the site without permission. And without permission from the relevant authorities, he's obviously admitting that this is an illegal operation because they do not have any legal standing to be here at the site. We also asked questions to our Minister of Environment, who also represents the Kalinago people, and to the Forestry Division, because like we've been saying, this site has encroached on our Northern Forest Reserve, and that is on official record from the Commonwealth of Dominica. The governments of the Commonwealth of Dominica, they're the ones who actually made that known to the public, and it's information that can be accessed by any member of the public at the Land and Survey Division. So we wanted to know from them as well, having the opportunity to speak with them, if they gave permission for them to operate in this area, because forestry, as far as we know, would never have given permission for them to encroach on our protected lands, because it's their mandate to protect these spaces. These spaces were created and protected for a reason, else why are we here? You know, this Northern Forest Reserve protects the headwaters of a lot of the major rivers of Dominica that we all rely on for the TTW Festival, you know, all the way down to the Majo Bassa on both sides of the island. So we were wondering, because they said one of their mitigation measures is to create a 50-meter buffer zone, but if they're already inside the park, how can you mitigate by creating a 50-meter buffer zone? Because you've already taken out the 50-meter buffer zone. You're already encroached, you're inside the park. So we wanted to be able to ask them the questions as to what they're going to do next. What are you going to do with this site once it's done? It's also our understanding that they have submitted a second proposal of that, you know, not just a crush and quarrying here anymore, but that they're going to do just a crushing plant here, that they have removed the quarrying from their proposal. It's also our understanding from first-hand information from the authorities that a stop order was put on the site. So according to our authorities, there should be no operation at the site. And a stop order is issued because of illegal operations. So a stop order proves that the work here has not been permitted, is not legal, and that the authority is telling them to halt. So obviously, again, it is a right of us as the Dominican people to have access to information that pertains and affects the Dominican people and affects the land that grew us. And we were here today to express our basic human rights. It's a basic human right, access to information and the ability to share that information. It's our constitutional right. So we were here to request from the government authorities the information, and that's all we've been asking this whole time. If you think that our science is misleading, then please present us with your science, and we will happily sit down and hear out your scientists. If you think our geologist is wrong, please release the geotechnical report. And I'm saying please, but it's more of a demand. We need the geotechnical reports. We need to see the environmental social impact assessment. We need to see the proposal that went into physical planning. And if it is indeed with physical planning as we understand, then that then becomes public information. And so we are requesting the authority to release that information to the public so that the public can view, form our opinions, comment on, which is required by law. And then we'll take it from there. I also want to remind the people, as we were here today, listening to what Benoit and others have said, about their mitigation strategies and how much they care for the site, that in a supposedly public consultation meeting, Mr. Benoit said very clearly that he's going to blast the mountain to smithereens and harvest every last piece of stone. And he laughed at that. He did laugh at that. When we then responded, he said it in front of the PAL rep of Marigot. So when we then responded and we said very clearly that you do not care about the Dominican people and about mitigating the area, because why would you want to blast this mountain to smithereens when we are talking about celebrating the beauty of Dominica? He then laughed and said he is going to blast this mountain to smithereens. So, Mr. Benoit, if it is your aim to mitigate this area, if you do truly care about the Dominican people, if this project is in the best interest of the Dominican people, I challenge you to say that that is not what you said. I dare you actually to come out in the public and to say that that is not the statement that you made, and you do have the best interests of the Dominican people at heart. This project does have the best interests of the Dominican people at heart, because that's all we want at the end of the day. I cannot look at the generation that came after us and say that we are doing the best. I want to be able to look at my generation, the generation before and the generations after, and say that we are protecting this land for you. We are protecting the water, the air, the food that grew us. The childhood that we were blessed with is the childhood that we want to see you blessed with. That's all we want.
Thank you so much, Miss Brisbane. So we have a few other individuals here. We are going to allow them, as you know, Emonews allow everyone the opportunity to express themselves. So we have, yes, short and brief. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks.
Tell us your name.
My name is Marietta Gordon, and I was born, bred, and raised in Concord, went to school in Concord. And that situation in Desbush, it is really affecting us in Concord, especially the river where I grew up as a child, bathing in that river. And now that we are seeing the river is always dirty because of that work that is going on in Desbush, and I don't think it is fair to the Concord people. It is not fair at all. We cannot afford to see our river being destroyed because of what? Development. As to what development, we are not even sure. So, I'm speaking on the behalf of all Concord people. Concord people, you all come out. Do not stay at all your homes. Come out. Let us come to the meetings. Come out. Let us talk. Come out. Let us voice our opinion, because that situation that is in Desbush, it is affecting all of us. You all need to come out. Thank you.
And before I call my next speaker, I am saying that he loves to talk a lot. He has long speeches. I'm going to give him 2 minutes, only 2 minutes to say something. I'm going to call Mr. Martin. Mr. Afi, 2 minutes I'm giving you to talk. Come to say something. I am very brave. Yes, 2 minutes, Mr. Martin. We are happy you are here. Come. The mic is yours.
Yeah, okay. 2 minutes. Thank you very much. No, it's all right. What I have to say can be said in 2 minutes. Number one, this land we call Dominica is our mama. If somebody was doing harm to your human mama, would you stand by and watch? Would you allow somebody to pay you cash to not involve in saving your mama from being beaten? This is your mama. Start there
at the beginning. And then you will understand how serious it is when people who have been given the privilege of administering the well-being of mama are instead allowing her to be raped and destroyed. So that means nothing that has to be done to stop the raping of mama is illegal or wrong. I can say that because every day I live is a sweepstake or a bonus day. Why? Because on the 23rd of December, I celebrated 80 years on mama. And for 53 of those 80 years, mama has allowed me to be part of her protection. And I'm not about to stop. To every single government since 1970 has had their soldiers point a gun at me. From the Labour government, the Freedom government, the United Workers government, and once again, the Labour government. They've pointed guns, loaded guns, but I made 80. And many of them who pointed the guns are no longer here. So be encouraged, be fortified. If Dominica is your mama, you know who your father is. And with that kind of parenthood, the Kalinago have shown us for thousands of years, mama and the father kept them safe and well, and they protected Dominica for us and our ancestors. We can do no less.
Thank you so much, Afi. Somebody come and help him. So we have a gentleman. I remember a couple years ago I had him on Emonews down at Marigold, and he's still here. How are you, Mr. David?
All right. I'm glad to see people come out.
All right. So how is your area now?
Destroyed. It's been, so when you came just under 3 years ago and we spoke Crapo Hall, that was right before they began totally destroying in there. Up till now, it's just gotten worse every day.
And I remember you stood by yourself.
Yeah, still am.
So what do you think about
not myself anymore, praise God.
What do you think about the Duex area?
I think it's a continuation of a horror. The reality is they're pool boy. The project is like pool boy. Now you start to see them on the surface of the wood, but people don't realize they've already yammed out the inside. And so for these 3 years, 7 days a week, they've been mining or excavating, or however the right word is in English. Okay? For over 2.5 years, I'm carrying water because they already spoiled Crapo Hall River. So I haven't had water for 2.5 years. So now it's reaching, praise God, other people are now realizing that it's affecting other rivers too. But they started from the inside. So just like any pool boy, if you start seeing them on the wood now, think about how much they already yam inside. Right? Now, one of the things I just want to say real quick, okay? There's a time when you stop listening to lies, because the lies is a distraction, and when you're listening to the liar, it allows him to continue doing his evil. Because while you're talking, he's doing his evil. So just like this Isaiah Benoit stood up at a public meeting in Concord and did not let us record what he was saying because he knew he was lying, when he said that they had closed down the crusher at Crapo Hall, and that's why they were doing here in Duex branche, when I lived there and they're running 7 days a week from 7 in the morning until after 10 in the night every single day. And the crusher is working right now as we speak. So there's a point in time where we stop engaging with the liar. You know, any good policeman knows you stop listening to the alibi at a certain point, you put him in the jail cell. Because you caught him red-handed. So we're at that point. We need action more than words right now. I'm not talking about violence. I'm talking about people standing up. The Dominican resources belong to the Dominican people. Until we see who's profiting, how they're profiting, and we're part of that decision and profit, we should shut it down.
Thank you, thank you. And as we are winding down, remember the views expressed here are not those of Emonews. We are going to call one more time our reggae icon, Nasio Fountain. And you know, yesterday we shook the internet and a lot of people have been commenting and saying a lot of things. Nasio, how do you feel today?
We always feel good, man. Every day we feel good, sister. And how do you feel today?
I feel great.
And what makes you feel so great?
I am alive. I am blessed. I'm breathing fresh air.
All right.
Yes, I'm healthy.
Well,
I'm standing next to an icon.
give me a hug, man. Yes, well, we give thanks that the people are present. Yesterday it was only 3 of us, and today we have a few people. So we're giving thanks, you know. We have icons like Afemate, we have Janelle, we have Gary, we have a whole heap of people who come to stand up for truth and right. Now, yesterday we utter a word, you know, like Rastaman, we fling one stone. And we realize the stone catch some people in them chest. And them Philippine. So we see them come up here and them had press conference with all the media in the world. But what we are learning is that while the press conference was still on, the man had things flying over social media say, the Prime Minister just finished a press conference here, so we are saying to the people that's a lie, because the Prime Minister was not there. No, we are saying that the people who came to represent the government today, they also lied to the people. And we are saying that lying must stop. Watch me, my brother. This is a situation where the people rule this country. People power. Remember, the power of the people are greater than the people in power. We are saying that the government need to come clean to the people. Janelle spoke, Gary spoke, and they are giving us facts about what's really going on. Durant spoke and told us, as from forestry experience, what the damage is, what the environment is, the people who own the land. And here is this gentleman who spoke again about being chased out from the property. And then, now the property he got chased out of is being ravaged by foreign forces. We are calling on this government right now to stop lying to the people and tell the people the truth. The people need to know what is going down. We have no qualms with no one. We have no war with no one. But just a little man stand up and say, we need to know what is taking place here and who is responsible, because what we learn from ourselves, from experience, looking at it, we recognize that the government is being controlled by international entities. Our people, Dominica, you must recognize that your government is being controlled by foreign governments. You need to look into it, you need to question it, and you need to stand up here in Duex branche. Like I say, we must stop that. Don't be afraid, because you have no weapon in your hand. We must stop this, and we must stop it now.
So Nasio, yesterday we had a lot of backlash. Persons were saying so many things about Nasio, and they are wondering if you're going to make a comeback for the World Creole Music Festival this 2026.
Listen to me, Sister. We don't care about backlash, because to attain victory, you will have to take pain. Our back is broad, it's large. When we talk, we are even talking on behalf of the people who are backlashing us. Because we're talking for liberation for everyone, you know. We're not partial in this thing, you know. We are just saying, Emo, when the time is correct and time is right, the people will see music from Nasio. the people will see what they need to see. Right now, as we speak, all the people who spoke today are telling the same thing. So what? One little government is going to stand and overcome everyone and say, oh, what we do, no one can do nothing. The people rise up. I'm asking you again. I am willing to go in wherever they have to put me. Jail, cemetery, hang me in a frigging tree and let me dry up. But we are going to stand up because this is our country.
So that is where we are going to end our broadcast. We heard from so many persons. We heard from the landowners. We heard from the forestry, a former forestry official. We heard from Icon, Nasio. We heard from Afi Mata. We heard from residents of Concord. We heard from a lot of people, from Miss Annie Edward, former planner. Then you have one of the Kalinagos from the council. So many persons spoke here this afternoon, and we are happy to give them an opportunity to voice their concern. We are going to be continuing our broadcast. As soon as they call, we will be here to bring it to you live and direct. We thank you all for joining us. I need lunch now. Somebody pay me lunch. Buy me lunch, somebody. So thank you all. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for speaking to us, and we are happy to bring this to you. Join us later tonight for the meeting at PSU. We'll be here live to bring you this meeting from the ERC. They'll be dealing with the travel ban. They'll be dealing with the refugees and all of these things that surround the travel. So please join us later live on Emonews. Once again, thank you all for viewing and enjoy the rest of the afternoon. I hope you are dancing to some of the tracks from Nasio, the legend.